Good midnight, NWS Revolution members and viewers. This is your head of talent relations and 2023 Hall of Famer, Michael Cole. And today, I'm going to have a sit-down interview with the NWS Universal Champion, Johnny Da Vinci. Please introduce yourself, Mr. Da Vinci. Thank you, Michael Cole, for the introduction. I appreciate that. Yes, this is your NWS Universal Champion, Johnny Da Vinci. How are you doing today, Michael Cole? I'm doing fine, Johnny Da Vinci. And I got to ask you, how does it feel to be the Universal Champion? You've held that title for 2 months. I mean, what's it like being the new NWS Universal Champion? It feels great. I love being the NWS Universal Champion. I mean, I have busted my ass to get where I'm at today. I mean, 2022, it started with me making my debut video here in September 2022. And then I started out undefeated, and I'm still undefeated today. I won the United States title in November of 2022, and in January of this year, I won the Intercontinental title, and I kept that title until Revolution Mania 7 because I wanted to go after a bigger title because I won the 2023 Revolution Chamber, and that was the match to determine the number one contender to the Universal title, and I won that match, and look at where I'm at today. I am the Universal Champion, and I love it, and I'm still undefeated, and I plan on staying undefeated. That's awesome. Now, what does it feel like being in the American Mercenary? It feels great. I mean, my brother Vinny Joe is a great leader, and he's taken the American Mercenaries to new heights that they never happened before. And my tag team partner, my other brother, Tony Jr. II, I mean, he's doing stuff on his own now because right now I want to focus on a singles career, but I do plan on winning the tag team title sometime this year. Now that is one of my main goals. And my other main goal, which I think is gonna happen, is I plan on becoming the world heavyweight champion. See, I've said it many times before. 2023 is going to be the year of Johnny Da Vinci. I really do hope you achieve that goal because you deserve to be the Universal Champion. Now, I got to say, what do you think of the NWS Revolution owner, chairman, and CEO, Scott Casey Gale, also known as Scotty Badbones? I think Scott Casey Gale is a great owner. I mean, he's definitely doing a lot for the NWS Revolution. I mean, he's got a good paying job as a maintenance cleaner at Dunkin' Donuts, where he works every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I mean, he does a lot of outside activities outside of YouTube, and in the NWS Revolution, he always puts on a good show with the help of General Manager Cody Mercer, who, by the way, is taking time off. I don't know if he's going to return at the pay-per-view later tonight or if he's going to return in June, but he will be back. Yeah, Scott Casey Gale, I mean, he has done a lot for this EFED, for this wrestling company, with the help of Jack Harvey and Ian Cleland and the late Cody Braden, Mitchell Mayette, Jesse James Resurrect, William Bringer, Noah Kid Watts, and a Punk. They have all helped Scott keep this EFED alive. Yes, indeed, they do. Now, what do you think of Cody Mercer's general manager? Since you did mention his name, I I think he was the perfect choice to be the general manager because he shows that he has a lot of heart and passion for this business, just like Scott Casey Gale does. And Scott Casey Gale and Cody Mercer calling the shots does a lot for this Western company. It does a lot. I mean, Cody Mercer is bringing in new wrestlers here, and I think he's taking time off so he can come back because he and according to the co-general manager Dom Callis, my manager, Cody Mercer did indeed sign a Legends contract, and that Legends contract states that he could show up whenever he feels that he has to. But don't worry, Cody Mercer says, don't worry, wrestling fans. Cody Mercer will be back, and he will be back here booking matches. Now, what do you think of your two brothers? Now, you already mentioned your two brothers, Vinny Joe and Tony Jr. II. Yes. See, and you, Johnny Da Vinci, you are 43 years old, the same. You are 44 years old, the same age as Scott Casey Gale, and I believe Vinny Joe is 20 and I believe Vinny Joe's in his 30s. And so is Tony Jr. II. Is that correct? Yes. Yes, they are in their 30s. Now, I want to ask you, what do you think of the World Heavyweight Champion, General Jerry? General Jerry is a very good World Heavyweight Champion. I like General Jerry as the World Heavyweight Champion, and I believe he's a 4-time World Heavyweight Champion, and I would actually like to face him for the World Heavyweight title, and I hope that does happen because I think General Jerry would be a very tough opponent for me. He hasn't made any promos here since he's won the world title, but he's busy too. You know, he's doing a lot outside of the NWS Revolution. He has told Scott Casey Gale that he will indeed be cutting a promo whenever he has time. But yeah, me versus General Jerry, I think that might indeed be a match you see during the summer because my manager and my godfather, Don Callis, is doing everything in his power to put that match together. Now, before I ask you about Don Callis, what do you plan on doing to Roman Reigns tonight in the Boiler Room Brawl? I plan on beating Roman Reigns with an inch of his life. I am going to show him what I'm all about. And I'm going to show Roman Reigns what happens when you screw with the American mercenaries and when you screw with me, Johnny Da Vinci. It's going to be a Boiler Room Brawl like never before. And I'm going to walk out still the NWS Universal Champion. As far as Paul Heyman goes, that Wallace, if you get involved, I got no problem beating your ass as well. But what makes you think you're going to come out without Roman Reigns? Because there's a good chance that Zed is going to beat you to a bloody pulp in that Hell in a Cell match at Revolution Extreme. So hopefully you're able to accompany him. So I can get a piece of you myself, Paul Heyman, for afterwards. You want to join the Deadly Renegade Society, you and Roman Reigns, because want to do that, be part of the DRS? Well, the Deadly Renegades are nothing more than a bunch of pussies who think they're out there, who think they're the most lethal force here in the NWS Revolution. Well, the NWS Revolution always comes up on top. So Michael Cole, I will show Roman Reigns what it's all about. And he will definitely pay the price. And like I was telling you, if Paul Heyman gets involved, I got no problem beating him to an even more bloodier pulp. Now, what do you think of the NWS head of law enforcement, Commander Data from Star Trek The Next Generation and from Star Trek season 3 of Star Trek Picard. I think Commander Data, the android, is the perfect choice to be the head of law enforcement because Commander Data takes his job very, very seriously, and he doesn't screw around. You do something wrong, he will arrest you or he will have you arrested, and he will take you to jail. Now, what do you think of Ethan Zobel and Lincoln Potter, them being the co-conspirators of the Deadly Renegade Society, and them working with, and they said they have been working with Barack Obama all along? Ethan Zobel and Lincoln Potter are nothing but a bunch of pussies. They wanna stab the NWS Revolution fans in the back and plan out and come up with this master plan to try to take over the NWS Revolution. Well, let me tell you something, Ethan Zobel and Lincoln Potter. I know you have a no-touch clause. I know you cannot be fired, and I know you cannot be suspended. But as I told you last week, if you get involved in my business, I got no problem beating the living crap out of you two bastards. So as I said last week, stay the fuck out of my way. And just to let you know, Scotty Badbones is going to beat Barack Obama with an inch of his life, and he's going to remain still the NWS Revolution owner, chairman, and CEO. Whether you like it or not. And what I think of Barack Obama, I didn't mind him as president, even though I didn't vote for him. But Barack Obama has showed his true colors. He is nothing more than a piece of trash. He thinks he's gonna have the Deadly Renegade Society merge with the NWS Revolution. He thinks he's gonna kill the NWS Revolution and have the Deadly Renegade Society take over. Oh, hell to the no, because Scotty Badbones is not gonna let that happen. Even though that Ethan Zobel is the special guest referee, Lincoln Potter is the special guest timekeeper, that Fat Walrus Paul Heyman is going to be the special guest ring announcer, Scotty Badbones will win. He will be victorious. Bank on that. Okay, now, what do you think of Psycho Mercer? Psycho Mercer, he's very psychotic. Psycho Mercer, a former world heavyweight champion and a former Universal champion, and the guy who I did take the Universal title off him. I have the utmost respect for Psycho Mercer as a person, as a wrestler. And it really surprised me that he was the one that accepted General Jerry's open challenge for the world heavyweight title. Can he win it? I don't know. But I would like to see Psycho Mercer become champion again. Now, another thing I want to ask you is what is your honest? What do you think? Who do you think was worse, the NWS Adventures or the Deadly Renegade Society? Oh, definitely the Deadly Renegade Society. They have done a lot more damage than the NWS Adventures have done. I mean, Joe Biden with his Joe Biden's coming back in July. Well, let me tell you something, Joe Biden. You get in my way, I got no problem beating the shit out of you like I did last year, Joe Biden. And earlier this year. So I suggest you stay the hell out of my way. And I wouldn't be surprised to join the Deadly Renegade Society. Because I know that's exactly what you are gonna do. I know exactly that's what Kamala Harris is gonna do, and that's what Michael Rappaport's gonna do. To get this Deadly Renegade Society. Well, let me tell you, pussies in the Deadly Renegade Society, we, the NWS, Revolution will be victorious. We put the NWS Avengers out of business. We will definitely put the Deadly Renegade Society out of business. Even though that we're gonna have to be feuding with them for a whole entire year. Scott Gale, Cody Wilson, and my manager Don Callis have a plan to put a stop to the Deadly Renegade Society once and for all. Now, I've been wanting to ask this. What is this business partnership with Don Callis? And how long have you and Don Callis been planning this business partnership? Because you were indeed feuding with him last year and earlier this year. Yeah. Can you really trust Don Callis after the things he has done? You know, after Don Callis was responsible for the death of Scooter St. William, and Don Callis did indeed turn his back on the late Scooter St. William in July of 2022 last year, and helped Joe Biden win the Universal Championship. Do you actually think that Don Callis is the perfect choice to be your manager? That is a very tough, good question, Michael Cole. Yes, Don Callis has messed up here in the NWS Revolution. He has done a lot of horrible things in the NWS Revolution, like screwing over the late Scooter St. William, screwing him out of the NWS Universal Championship last year, responsible for the death of Scooter St. William, joining forces with the NWS Avengers and being the manager agent of Joe Biden and the NWS Avengers. He has done a lot of horrible things here in the NWS Revolution. I mean, he turned his back on Kenny Omega 2 Wednesdays ago, and he's a heel in AEW again. But here in the NWS Revolution, he's a tweener, which means half face, half heel. But can I trust Don Callis? Yes, Michael Cole. I can trust Don Callis. I trust Don Callis 100%. After all, Don Callis is like family to me. He is my godfather. And when I was growing up, he helped my parents raise me, and he helped my mother and father take good care of me. Don Callis has done a lot for my family. I mean, he even used to babysit me at times during my childhood too. And he babysat my brothers Vinny Joe and Tony Jr. II. So yes, he has done a lot for me, and he has done a lot for my family. And yes, as you said, Michael Cole, me and Don Callis did indeed have a rivalry. We did indeed feud last year and earlier this year, but after the Buried Alive match, we settled our differences. Whatever hatred we had for each other is no more. So I no longer hate Don Callis, and Don Callis no longer hates me. We are friends again. And Don Callis is the perfect choice to be my manager, because Don Callis has made a lot of promises to me, and Don Callis always keeps his promises. So I know for sure Don Callis will not turn on me. And this is no master plan that Don Callis is going to get me to turn heel. I'm going to say it one time. I trust Don Callis 100%. Even though my brother Vinny Joe is against Don Callis being my manager, I've proven him wrong. Don Callis is staying as my manager. I know Cody Mercer has messaged me and has called me saying that Don Callis is using me. I don't feel that he has. I don't think Don Callis is using me or exploiting me or taking advantage of me or manipulating me or brainwashing me. Don Callis is like family to me. Even though that me and Don Callis are not blood related, I consider Don Callis, my manager, my godfather, a huge part of my family. That's very good, and I understand your reasonings for trusting Don Callis. But why does Vinny Joe hate Don Callis, and why does he have a personal grudge against Don Callis? It's a very good question, Michael Cobb. The reason why is not just because of all the horrible things Don Callis has did here in the NWS Revolution. Because Vinny Joe did reveal last year that he was selling drugs to Joe Biden and Don Callis that was keeping Joe Biden strong. Yes, they Vinny Joe, my brother, did indeed do dirty deeds with Joe Biden, as he revealed last time he did dirty deeds with Don Callis. But he truly did regret that, you know. And yes, Joe Biden was indeed using my brother Vinny Joe to help sell him drugs, and even Don Callis did that, and Don Callis didn't admit to that. But that's not the main reason Vinny Joe hates Don Callis, and it's not just because Don Callis turned his back on the NWS Revolution last year and joined the NWS Avengers. It's not just because Don Callis is responsible for the death of Scooter St. Roman. The main reason why is because back in the thousands, since when and back in like in the 2000s and early teens, I am going to reveal this. It's because Don Callis was stealing money from my family. It happened because let's see. I was born in 1970, and in the 80s, in the 1980s and 1990s, Don Callis was always good to me. Even in the 2000s, Don Callis was always good to me. But Don Callis and my parents got into this huge argument, this huge disagreement, meant over some sort of business deal. See, because my parents opened up this huge restaurant in Texas, and Don Callis helped open up this huge. See, my parents want a huge business. They own restaurants, and Don Callis helped them open up the restaurant, but Don Callis wanted to open up the restaurants in Canada, and my family wanted to do that too. But the thing is, it was going to cost a lot more money, and Don Callis couldn't come up with a deal, and he tried everything. And unfortunately, Don Callis didn't have to, because Don Callis wanted to open up his own wrestling business too, and he had the money to do it, but he needed more money, and to do wrestling shows and to open up a restaurant, Don Callis had no other choice but to steal money from my family and to steal money from Vinny Joe, and that money was being paid for Vinny Joe's college. You know, when Vinny Joe graduated from high school, and Don Callis just helped my family pay to keep me in college, and Vinny Joe and Tony Jr. II. But it happened it happened 10 years ago. 10 years ago, Don Callis stole money from my family to help, and the reason why is because he came into some sort of debt and he it's really hard to explain. Don Callis had to steal money from my family in order to solve problems. And when my family found out about it, they were pissed off. My parents were pissed off at Don Callis. My brothers, Vinny Joe and Tony Jr. II, were pissed off at Don Callis. I was, but Don Callis explained his reasoning. He said he had to steal money from my family to help pay his bills and to help pay his insurance. And he admitted what he did was wrong, and it led into a huge lawsuit from my family to Don Callis. And once he was found out that he was stealing money from my family to help pay his bills and pay for other things, my family wanted to have nothing to do with Don Callis. So they took him to court, and they won a court case. And Don Callis ended up paying back every bit of money he stole from my family. And I ended up forgiving him. My parents ended up forgiving him. Tony Jr. II ended up forgiving him, but Vinny Joe did not. And Vinny Joe ended up suing Don Callis as well. And he, of course, won the case. But Vinny Joe did say he would never trust Don Callis again. And Don Callis, to this day, truly regrets ever stealing money from my family. And it took a long time for my mom and dad and my whole entire family to forgive him, but they did. He served, and Don Callis served his punishment for that, and he vowed never to steal money from my family again. And I forgave him for that, like I said. But Vinny Joe, still to this day, holds that grudge against Don Callis. And that's the main reason why he doesn't trust Don Callis. That's the main reason why Vinny Joe doesn't want Don Callis as my manager. But I've decided, like I said earlier, and like I said last year, I am keeping Don Callis as my manager because I trust Don Callis with my life. I trust him with my heart and my brain. And I cannot turn my back on Don Callis. He's like a second father to me because he is my godfather. He's always had my back. I mean, when he did that, he broke down crying in tears 10 years ago when he stole money from my family. And he broke down in court, and everybody in my family except Vinny Joe forgave him. So yes, that's one of the main reasons why Vinny Joe hates Don Callis and doesn't want to have anything to do with him, and thinks he's just using me. As I said, thinks he's just using me and manipulating me, trying to. And Vinny Joe did say that Don Callis is going to turn his back on me when I at least expect. And I said, no, that's not going to happen. Don Callis looked at me in the eye and said he would never, ever turn his back on me. He's turned his back on many other people. He will never do that to me because I'm like a second son, because I'm like a son to him, and he's like a second father to me. I mean, he's done a lot for my wife and kids. He's done a lot for my wife, my son, and my daughter. And yeah, he's just Don Callis is the closest thing I have to a friend. and he's gonna be turning 60 years old in October. But yeah, he like really he babysits my kids. He takes my kids out to dinner when I'm busy with wrestling and then he yes. As a matter of fact, Don Callis did indeed take me, my wife, and my son and my daughter out to dinner today. And he paid for the meal, and it was a nice dinner. And tomorrow, before the pay-per-view, we Don Callis did indeed invite me to this nice restaurant that's in Arizona, which has the best food ever. It's number one in Arizona. And then Don Callis will be taking me to yes, my wife and my son and my daughter will be we'll be sitting at ringside. We'll be sitting in the seats, yes, because Don Callis did indeed pay for that ticket. So yes, my wife, my son, and my daughter will be sitting in the fans and in skybox seat, watching as I kick Roman Reigns' ass. I mean, I love Don Callis. I do. Even when Don Callis was a heel, I loved him. See, we were, and yes, we did whatever hate. What as I was saying, whatever hatred I had for him is now out the window. I respect Don Callis more than ever now. And he is officially staying as my manager agent, no matter what. I will never, ever fire Don Callis as my manager. I mean, Don Callis is doing a great job as the co-general manager. He's the perfect choice. You really didn't answer that. I know that was kind of a tough question for me to ask you, Michael Cole. I mean, I know that was a tough question for me to ask you, Johnny Da Vinci, but you gave me all the answers. You told me you told me you were honest with me, and you gave your reasons for for hiring Don Callis as a manager. Now I gotta ask, what do you think of what do you think of Don Callis as co-general manager? Do you think he's doing a great job? Oh yes, without a doubt. I mean, he's giving the fans what they want, and he's and while Cody Mercer is away, he's doing a good job as the co-general manager. I really do hope Cody Mercer keeps Don Callis as the co-general manager. Even though that Cody Mercer also doesn't like Don Callis, I really hope they have a good working relationship. Because Cody Mercer and Don Callis, the co-general manager, in the words of Triple, it's Cody Mercer and Don Callis as co-general managers. That's best for business. And that's pretty much all I gotta say. Is there anything more you want to ask me, Michael Cole? No, nope. I got no more questions. I just want to say, thank you for coming on the show, Johnny Da Vinci. And even though I had to ask you the tough question about Don Callis, you gave me the answer I needed, and hopefully that will change Vinny Joe's opinion on Don Callis and Cody Mercer as well. Do you think it will? I don't think it's going to change Vinny Joe's opinion, because he did tell me no matter what, he's never going to trust Don Callis ever again. And he doesn't, and like I said, he hates the fact that I chose to keep him as my manager, but I hope he understands. I really hope Vinny Joe understands. And I really hope Cody Mercer understands as well. But I think Cody Mercer will end up forgiving Don Callis, and I think he will indeed keep him as the co-general manager. I just wish I could say the same for my brother Vinny Joe, but I can't do anything about that. But anyway, Michael Cole, thank you for having me, and I will end up with this. Roman Reigns, your ass is grass, and I'm gonna smoke it. And you all have a good day. God bless you all. Thank you, Johnny Da Vinci, and I will see you all at Revolution Extreme tonight because I will be doing commentary along with Joe Gotti and Dan Levin, and I will be calling a good show. So you all have a good night. This is Michael Cole signing off. Good night, everybody.